pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the holiday edition, Monday, December 19th, 2022, Board of Aldermen meeting. Thank you to those of you who wore your ugly sweaters and or ties this evening and getting the memo. We appreciate it. We'll start off with a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, it has been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, moving on to outside the rail. Is there anyone from the community that would like to speak outside the rail this evening for items that are not on the agenda? All right, hearing and seeing none, Mr. Mayor, you are up. Communications from the mayor.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And hello, everyone. Great to be with you again. I have two things I wanted to talk about tonight. The first one, many of you are probably aware that today there was a fire over on the West Proctor Road, just inside the Proctor line. Unfortunately, the family that lives there lost everything. The house is completely gone, and they lost all the contents in there. Immediately following that, I saw up on Facebook that there was going to be some fundraising done for the family, and unfortunately there's several children that are involved with this family, and they're looking for clothing in particular just to get them through, of course, the first few days. So what I thought I'd do here at the podium, and folks listening at home, if I might request that these particular items for the children in particular, but also for the mom and dad. They're looking for boys sizes 3T, size 8, size 12, and size 16. Also for an adult female, 3X leggings and shirts. Again, adult female, size 11 pants and large shirts. And for the adult male, which I assume is the dad, he's looking for some pants, waist size 32 or 34, and extra large shirts. So I think you could find these up on Facebook, on my Facebook page, if you didn't get those sizes. But they are taking the donations over at the Proctor Library. And the hours I do not have with me, but I think you can just leave them off at the door and they will pick them up and get them to the family. So I wanted to make that plea. We did send a truck over there from the Rutland City Fire Department to assist in the fire, but I took a ride over there after work today, and it looks like everything is gone. So if we could help out this family 5 days before Christmas, that would be great. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. The other thing I wanted to talk about very briefly was just to go back 2 weeks to the discussion that y'all had about the, this was a report from the parking committee, discussion you had about the establishing some new rates, ticketing fees, expired meter fines, that discussion that we had a couple of weeks ago. As part of that discussion, I believe the question was asked if the partnership had been asked their position on the rate increases. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the response that I heard was that they had been asked and that they were fine with them. Now, again, if I'm wrong, I'm trying to remember from recall. But following that discussion, I wanted to make sure that the business owners had been consulted. So what I did was I sent a request to the partnership to see if they could survey the membership. So the partnership agreed, and they sent out a survey and asked their members whether they supported the proposed rates and fees and explained their answer on the questionnaire. So I'm not sure exactly how many went out, probably close to 100. There was 20 business owners that did respond. The results were 13 said they did not support the proposal. 5 said that they did. and there was 2 that said that they needed some more information. And I've got paper copies of those responses right here, which I can hand out right now. So I know that the issue got sent back to committee, that we'll have another discussion about that, but I thought this information would be helpful to the committee as they're thinking about how they want to move forward with that, with the issue. So basically, that's just for information only, not asking for any motions or anything. Just wanted to let you know that we did that. So, and that's all I got.
Great. And do you want the other thing?
Wanted to ask for a referral on the issue, the water issue from down on Granger Street. I sent out an email to you. Mr. Kessup had sent some information to us. He's going to be requesting some help for the damage that he had down in his basement. And I think the proper thing would be to refer it to committee. I'm hoping to have a meeting with him prior to your committee meeting and get whatever else, other information that we're going to need. We'll get the city attorney involved and have our ducks all in a row so that when we have the committee meeting, just we'll have all the information that we need and then make a decision going forward. So a referral to, I hate to give it to Billy again, but
Move to refer
whatever
to
committee.
Public Works Committee.
Second.
The motion to refer the issue of the waterfront to Public Works Committee has been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I think that is it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, moving on to additions and deletions from the, additions and deletions to the agenda. So we have one ad. We'll put it in miscellaneous motions, resolutions, and new business. It's the holiday dates for the Board of Aldermen meeting shifts. So we'll put that at the end of the meeting. And then we have 2 deletions. We're going to delete AttorneyBloomer's line item number 3, ordinance amendment for the parking app. And then line item number 6, executive session related to probable litigation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is to add and delete. It's been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Those are deleted. Thank you. All right. Moving on to reports and letters from department heads and officials. BarbaraSpaulding, RRA, BIAP requests. This is pages 1 through 19 in your packet. Barbara?
So I sent you all the most recent BIAP application that was vetted by the Redevelopment Authority on December 13th, and a recommendation was made by them to have the aldermen approve a $10,000 BIAP forgivable loan to Autism Advocacy and Intervention, LLC. They purchased a building at 163 Stratton Road for employees and clients. And Brian Merrier is here tonight, and if you have any questions for him, he's here to answer any questions you might have. And that's what we're asking.
All right.
I'll move to suspend the rules.
Alderwoman David. Motion to suspend the rules has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll move for the approval of the BIAP forgivable loan in the amount of $10,000 to the Autism Advocacy and Intervention, LLC, for an office intervention space at 163 Stratton Road.
Second.
We have a motion, it has been seconded. Any comments, question, or discussion? Would you like to say anything? If you want to come up, feel. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, come on up and just make sure you're at the podium so we can catch the audio. So.
Really what I want to say is, first of all, thank you, everybody. I'm fortunate enough to have been doing this work for quite some time and have had the opportunity to engage with a lot of communities, a few outside of the state of Vermont as well. It can be a pretty challenging process. A lot of it takes kind of building relationships with the community. A lot of people are pretty, for lack of better words, naive in terms of the type of work that we do and the type of impact we can have on families and within a community. And I want to say that, and I don't say it just to celebrate for the sake of it, but Rutland has been absolutely phenomenal since the start. And I mean that It's really something to celebrate. The Department of Behavioral Health, all the early intervention programs, the Head Starts, the preschools, have embraced us with open arms from the get-go. We were asked by the state to come explore the county of Rutland because there are no services here. And from day one, it's just been absolutely phenomenal. We have a lot of work to do, for sure, to get our operations up and running, but this has just been absolutely fantastic right from the get-go. Really, I've been working on this for about 6 months now, and as soon as you jumped on in, just got it all solved, and here we are today. So I just want to say that I lived here as a little kiddo, so it's really nice coming back here, but just a fantastic community, and really should be proud of all the different departments that are here and how welcoming they've been. So thank you all so much. I'll do my best to make you all proud, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
I'll answer
Yep.
anything. I'll talk
Larry, go
about
ahead.
Thank you
Sure.
for those remarks. How closely are you working with our schools?
We are already in communication with schools. In fact, in mid-January, I have a presentation at Stafford to talk about our services for people who are interested in professional development. We've already had some children actually, or some students observe our sessions already. We're already in communication with Head Start programs, but there's work to do in terms of what does it mean to be a good collaborative partner to all the different institutions that are a part of helping out a family, from the school districts to the community in general. And I see it as our responsibility to help try to stimulate that kind of togetherness. It's a lot of work. My background is working inside public school systems, developing early intervention programs. And there's always been a significant separation between community, the private, and the public. And I get it. I understand how it does all operate. So there's work. And this organization doesn't operate, we take advantage of problems, trying to find them and figure out solutions. And you don't always get it the first your attempt, but that's all right. You just keep plugging away, and in the end, with discipline and diligence, you solve things. So we're still young in the community. We still got more to work in terms of pairing with the school districts, but we're here, and we're going to keep plugging away.
Be interesting to follow. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Any other questions, comments? All right, thank you very much for your time.
So much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So we have a motion on the floor to approve the $10,000 forgivable loan for autism advocacy. I want to say this right. There you go. AAI LLC. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Barbara. Appreciate it. Okay, Treasurer Markowski did send her treasurer's report. She is out this evening. Do we want to? Yeah.
Actually, I'll move to refer to finance.
Okay. All right. We have a motion to refer to finance.
Second.
It has been seconded. Any comments, question, or discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Moving on, Superintendent Peters, recreation updates. This is pages 20 through 22 in your packet.
Okay. The first is a request for approval to issue an RFP for recreation management software, moving from a server to iCloud.
I'll move to suspend the rules.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules. Has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll move for the approval of the RFP for recreation management software iCloud.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the RFP process for the rec department for their cloud-based software. It's been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so then my next, you did receive an email on just some updates that are happening at the rec. I usually try to do this every 3 months, so I figured before the holidays. We're getting ready for Q2 to be complete. Our revenue is up 67% of estimation, so we're looking really good there, which is about 20,000 more than where we were at last year at this time. With still money coming in through December. And on the expenses side, same that we've talked about in budget, the programs with the summer camp, July, August hits hard, and then the White's Pool. So you can look at that. Please feel free to ask any questions. All other line items look really good. Moving forward, we're excited about where we're at. And with that being said, I sent a 2-page summary of how we're getting our revenue and also what else is happening at the rec. I could not be more excited and proud of our program directors and maintenance staff of what we are doing at the other facilities, not just the rec community center that we hear so much about. A quick update on Justin Memorial Park. As many of you may have seen, the old structure has been removed. Our staff did that to, one, help save money, but also so when spring hits, we're ready to go. Our expected delivery date of the new structure is June 2023. And I'm just going to read this because I want it on PEG TV about donations. If you're looking for a unique gift to give during Christmas, this holidays, think about purchasing a personalized brick to be placed in the new walkway of love at the park. Kids and families will love looking at their bricks. We have different ways that you can donate toward the project. You can come to the Rutland Recreation Community Center and make a donation. You can also go through Grace Church. Currently, we are at $85,000 raised. That's with grants, a match, and fundraising. The cost of the play structure is $91,000. We do not need to pay that until the play structure comes in, but I'm not worried. We have not even done a huge push for fundraising. Total cost of enhancements is $120,000. That includes the fencing, a new structure for like a gazebo, and I think that's it besides the play structure. So that is that's the updates on Justin Memorial Park, if anybody has any questions on that. Okay, so moving on, I just wanted to give an update on the Corcel building. If you remember, a couple months ago, we came and we were looking for approval to lease out, rent out the front offices, which includes 4 offices that are no longer in use since we have moved from the Corcel building. And as of December 1st, Community Care Network has officially moved in, and we are now receiving the revenue for that space. That space was not being used. The rest of the building, however, continually is being used. We have a meeting space that is used throughout the week, weeknights. I have a couple examples of different organizations that utilize that space, and then we also have the dance room that is also being used either by youth theater, yoga classes, or dance classes from an outside organization. Their dance space was not ready yet, so they've asked to utilize ours, and that's a rental fee that we have. Any questions on Corcel? And of course, all of our maintenance operations are still out of the back, and it's a very large operation if you ever want to go look at all the big trucks back there. The rec center, I've talked about this enough. I don't want to really harp on this too much. I did want to thank American Red Cross. We had another successful blood drive there on Friday, despite the snow we had in the morning. And then just at the bottom of the page just talks about kind of our progression of members. So if you look, when we opened in November 2020, we had 430. Last year, 635. And then this past November, we had 825. So we're seeing that progression of membership coming in. December, same. And as of this morning, I did this on Thursday, we're at 800 members. So we've increased 60 in the last 6 days, which is very typical because we have the college kids coming back, and so they're looking for a space to hang out.
Alderman Gillum?
If people at home can't see these numbers that we see here, and I think it'd be very interesting to tell them that since 2020, the department has doubled the numbers from November of 20 and December of 20 to 22. So the facility's doing extremely well.
Yes, it's, you know, I think at first it was a want, and now we have found out it is a need. It is truly a community center, and if I was to put a wish list, and you can, if you want to do this, you can, but we need another gym already, or a pool, whichever. So it is, it's just a need. If you walked around any time of the day there, you will see people there. We just did another connection with a piece from Rutland Mental Health. We have 10 students coming in, adult students that are coming in and utilizing the facility throughout the day. Today they picked up pickleball, which was really cool to watch. I really want to focus a little bit on the Godnick Adult Center. So I did hand out a newsletter. April does a newsletter monthly. And her members, she also does a membership-based. The members there, we do that after the rec center. We were like, we should be collecting data also for the Godnick Adult Center because that helps us get grants. So it doesn't cost to be part of the Godnick Adult Center. In fact, many of the offerings we have are free. But last she had 500 adults that had registered as members that are coming to the facility. And she says that doesn't even capture everything that is happening there. So she started that about a year ago where she's asking members to fill out a form so we have good information on them. And she's at like 500 members. So she does this monthly. People from the community don't go just to do programs, they come just to hang out and socialize. Some of the things I wanted to highlight, I've got to watch and take pictures of. They have a new program called Chair Volleyball, where they are in chairs and they're playing volleyball in the rec center that they have there. Something that's extremely important is called a foot clinic. That is when we have medical staff come in and help our community members with foot care. And that's exactly what it is. And it is such a high need that we're one of the only places that offers this. We get waitlisted. We get community members that have to be on the wait list to get into that. So just without going into too much detail, you see the back page and it's every day, all day. And then again, her revenue is coming in through rentals on the weekends. Very affordable rentals on the weekends. We're usually double, triple booked. And she's going to reach her goal of, I think we have a goal of 6,000. I think we're going to be at 10,000. It only takes $15,000 to operate that building. So we're almost making that up just in rentals. So I really wanted to highlight the Godnick Center because what April does there is amazing. And Emily Bose, one of our interns who we've had, has now been hired as the second program director that will be at Godnick Adult Center. She starts January 3rd. Any questions? Okay, so just lastly, Giorgetti Ice Arena, just want again, another way that we are bringing in revenue, the different programs that are going on there. Brittany continually adds different programs. We just had Skate with Santa. We have karaoke nights coming up. It becomes another place for youth to go. So we have Friday night open skate. We're getting a lot of the kids that we're seeing at the rec center also now go to Giorgetti to just skate. It's very affordable. And and we still have Raha that's utilizing it, the curling club. Our skating lessons, when we offer them, they fill up. It fills up within an hour. So again, many programs coming out of there, but also just fun events. So that's the recap of our current facilities.
Any questions for Superintendent Peters? All right, and seeing none, we have two SEP requests that are both rec requests, and if the board's, did you have a question? Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't see your hand go up. My bad.
Information, is this going to go on the new website?
It's there. Well, you can click, you've always been able to get to the Rutland Rec website from that.
From the city
Yeah,
site.
yeah.
Okay.
So that should still be available. Mhm.
Any other questions? I'm sorry, Bill.
Sorry.
All right. Seeing and hearing none, there's two SCP requests that are related to the rec. If it's okay with everybody, I'd like to move those up now. Okay, great. So we'll start with the SCP request, Cold Roll Rutland Fat Tire Festival on February 12th, 2023 at Parney Hill Park, pages 51 through 56 in your packet.
So we have sledding and the fat tire.
Yeah, we'll start with we'll start with the fat tire, just because.
I'll move to suspend the rules.
We have a motion.
Second?
We have a motion to suspend the rules. It has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
So I'll move for the special events permit request for sledding on Center Street for February 21st.
Should do it wrong. That's fine. We can start with that one. That's fine.
5:30 to 8.
Okay. We have a motion to allow the SCP requests for the Center Street sledding on February 21st.
Second.
We have a second. Any comments, question, or discussion? Alderman Barbara Gallo.
Is there a rain date, and would that be included in the permit?
Just makes the hill slipperier.
Hopefully there's no rain date.
Hopefully, I know, well, you know what, I mean, a warm date then.
I would have to ask Casella, they partner with us, but I do not believe there is a snow date or a rain date because of all the departments that are involved. It takes a lot of work.
Makes the village, yeah.
Thanks. Okay. Any other questions, comments, discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now moving on to Cold Roll Rutland Fat Tire Festival on February 12th, 2023, Pine Hill Park, pages 51 through 56 in your packets.
Motion to suspend the rules.
The motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
It has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And motion to grant the special events permit for the Fat Bike Festival on February 12th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Pine Hill Park.
Second.
We have a motion that has been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? All right. Did you want to say anything?
Does anybody have any questions?
I guess not.
So, I'm being prompted here. I'm not, yeah. I'll be quick, sorry. I'm Shelley Lutz, and I'm a volunteer in Pine Hill Park for many, many years, and this Cold Rolled Rutland event, this is going to be our third year. And we had last year approximately 150 people show up just to ride bikes in Pine Hill Park on a very cold Sunday morning prior to the Super Bowl. And then they get fed burritos and beer, and we have a fire pit, and, you know, it's all cool. And you guys should come and just, if nothing else, you don't have to ride a bike, just come and look at the pageantry that happens. So, anyway, questions?
Any questions?
Thank you for all that you do up there.
Are you doing fat bike rentals?
Yes, there are fan bike rentals, and you need to call Ranch Camp in Stowe or Green Mountain Bikes in Rochester, and they will actually bring them. And you might be able to get an e-fat bike. So you got to pedal to make it go forward, but I think the chief understands what a nice e-bike does, if I understand properly.
All right. Any more questions or comments?
Hopefully I get mine Christmas.
Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much, Shelley. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Peters.
Thank you.
Okay. So, moving on, we're going to be, AttorneyBloomer, since he's not here, we're going to be jumping around a little bit, so I'll try to keep everybody up to date as we move through this. But we will start off with the Y&R Opportunity Fund for deed restriction waiver for 33 Summer Street. This is pages A23 through A26 in your packet, and I believe you all got this information from AttorneyBloomer earlier in the week as well. So we'll just need, if you look on page A23, if the board is willing, we'll need a motion.
I'll move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules and it has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll move to approve the waiver of restrictive covenant of 33 Summer Street in the form presented, and to authorize the zoning administrator and building inspector to sign the waiver on behalf of the city.
Second.
We have a motion. It has been seconded. Any comments, question, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, moving on to item number 2, request Housing Trust of Rutland County option agreement extension for 202 Columbian Avenue. This is pages A27 through A31 in your packet. And on A27, there is the language for a motion if the board is so inclined.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules. It's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor on behalf of the city to enter into amendment number 1 to the real estate option agreement with the Housing Trust of Rutland County Incorporated in substantially the form presented.
Second.
We have a motion to approve. It has been seconded. Any comments, question, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Awesome. All right, we have deleted noise ordinance. We are going to move both local option sales tax and the noise ordinance materials. Sorry, we didn't delete noise ordinance. We deleted the parking ordinance. But local option sales tax and noise ordinance will move down after Alderwoman Savage's committee reports, if that's okay with everyone. All right, great. We've deleted the executive session, so now we'll move on to, just make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, Chief Kilcullen, request to sell city-owned property, pages 44 in your packet. Chief, you're up.
Thank you. So this request is to dispose of a vehicle. It's a 2015 Ford Taurus. When it was first put into service, it was put in service as a frontline patrol vehicle. We repurposed that after about 3 years. Currently has about 100,000 miles on it with some maintenance issues. It won't pass inspection. In this case, the frame is good, but it's got a lot of other issues that need to be addressed before it would pass. In the past, we had gotten some offers from scrap yards for a couple $100. We actually got an offer of $1,500 in this case for this particular car. And so we're looking to dispose of it through by scrapping it. They said the offer is $1,500. If we were to even attempt to sell it, we would have to first incur about $800 in expenses to recore the locks, because it's one key for all of our police cars. It's a standard law enforcement lock, and we'd have to replace that. And when the new cars come in, it costs us about $800 to do that. So we don't want to incur the expense. We don't want to put any money into the car to sell it.
Alderman Davis.
I have a problem with that, but with the sale of this, does the money usually go back into the equipment replacement fund?
Yes.
Okay. Because that should be part of the motion.
Okay.
So I'll move to suspend the rules.
Second.
The motion to suspend the rules has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll move to approve the sale of the 2015 Ford Police Interceptor to Brown's Auto Salvage located in Bombazine for $1,500, with the money to be put into the equipment fund.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the sale of the police vehicle for $1,500 to Brown's Auto Salvage. It has been seconded. Any comments, question, or discussion? Alderman Barbagallo.
Chief, when you sell that to them for scrap, do you drill out the locks to make sure that they can't make a key from it?
We will in this case, yes. As I said, it's a standard law enforcement core, and so we would. And again, as I said, because if we sold it to a third party and had to replace all those, it would cost about $800.
Well, that's why I asked, because, you're selling it to them, but it still has the locks. You could take the lock and make a key. I wondered if you
Ignition
drill them
and the
out.
locks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments, question, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, Chief, you are still up with a request to issue RFP for communications center workstations.
All right, so this request, if you remember, about a month ago or so, $40,000 of ARPA funding was approved for this purpose, and so we're prepared at this point to put that RFP out, and so I'm here to seek your permission to do that.
I'll move to suspend the rules.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules. It has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll move for the approval to issue the RFP for the communication center workstations.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the RFP for the communication station workstations. It has been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. So, next item on the agenda is DPW Commissioner Rotundo's request referral of proposed infrastructure improvement bond request to the DPW committee. This is page 45 on the packet. Alderman Gillum.
I'd like to move to Public Works Committee, the proposed infrastructure improvement bond request.
A motion to refer to committee, and it has been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Moving on to reports of standing committees. Alderwoman Savage, we're going to start with your newest report, Charter and Ordinance Noise Ordinance Rewrite. This was handed out to you and emailed to you.
Everyone should have a copy on their desk. We're going to kind of do it in backwards order since this was the last meeting to approve, and then one of the prior meetings will be in a second set of reports, so I apologize for that. But this was December 12, 2022 meeting. Members present were Alderwoman Savage, Vice Chair Gillum, Alderwoman Taddeo, Alderman Copley, and Alderman Franco. Other presents were President of the Board of Aldermen Mike Dungis, Alderwoman Davis, Michael Talbot, Alderman Talbot, Alderman Barbagallo, and AttorneyBloomer. The meeting was called to order at 5:30 p.m. The Charter and Ordinance Committee met to go over the revised final draft of the new language for the approval to send to the full board. AttorneyBloomer presented the changes to the draft ordinance from the November 17 meeting and suggested the final language. AttorneyBloomer advised that the new ordinance language in 3661, prohibition against unnecessary noise or unnecessary or unreasonable noise, would replace the current number 3661, prohibition against loud noise from a sound amplification system in a vehicle. Small changes were suggested to better define computer-enhanced sound application to vehicles, noise emanating from an adjacent property, and a change from 9 a.m. to 6 a.m. to allow for snow plowing by a recreational vehicle. AttorneyBloomer advised that the new ordinance, the 3661 prohibition against unnecessary and unreasonable noise, would replace the 3661 prohibition against loud noise from a sound amplification system in a vehicle, and suggested that number 2079, loud noises and amplifying devices, number 3665, disturbance of a religious service, and number 4945, unnecessary noise, could be replaced as they are now covered by the new noise ordinance language. Number 3664, riots and disturbances of the peace, will be left in the current ordinance language. Vice Chairman Gillum made a motion to send the new noise ordinance language to the full board, approval pending the changes from AttorneyBloomer, and I so move.
Second.
So, we have suggested motions on page 27 of your packet. So it's after the A's. It's almost dead center of your packet. It's a memo from AttorneyBloomer. We have a motion coming out of committee. It's been seconded. I think our best course of action here is to vote no on that motion, then follow the suggested motions on page 27 to make sure that we get this correct.
We need a motion to suspend the rules first, right?
Yeah, we will, and that's part of the suggested motions. So, Alderman DePoy.
In reading this, I'm just wondering if there is a mechanism, and maybe it's currently in the ordinances, for like a permit to be able to have loud music. Say there's a function going on either at Georgetti or at the rec center or something. Do we have, or at the park for that matter, do we have, is that in current ordinance? I forget. I know we talked about it at a prior meeting, but can you just update me on that?
Yeah, I believe that there is, and I'm not sure. But
Okay. I just want to, I'm sorry, Mr. President, I just want to make sure we address that, because if we're having an event where there's loud noise and somebody calls to report the loud noise, but it's a sanctioned event by the city.
Right, and I believe, if I may, I don't know where it is in here, but we talked about that because we talked about the fair or Relay for Life. You know, sometimes that's noises that are occurring all night long from the fairgrounds, things like that. and they would be an allowed use. If there was an event, a permitted event, or a city-sponsored event, it would be an allowed use.
So there's a permit process, Mr. President?
Yeah, I mean, we have SCP permits now, and it would be probably covered under the SCP permits.
So a special event type of thing.
Special event, yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
And there is language in here that does say with permission, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, I just didn't know if we had to spell it out in this proposed ordinance or not, or at least refer to an SCP.
No,
so
and I
that
believe
people
it's
reading
spelled
the
out in
ordinance
the-
know that there is a way to get a permit for it, so.
So Alderwoman Savage and Alderman Gillum.
Go ahead. Yeah, I believe it is spelled out in this ordinance, and I forget which line it is, I don't have it in front of me, but about the S&Ps and the special permitting.
Okay, great, thank you.
Alderman Gillum?
And for catering, under special liquor license, outdoor consumption captures all that. So if you're having a wedding in your backyard, you're bringing a catering, you gotta get a permit for that day, all that falls in there.
Any other discussion? Alderwoman Savage?
Yeah, and I believe the language is, we change it so it's like till 11 PM at night, and then 10 AM in the morning are the allowed times for that.
Okay, so now as a reminder, we probably want to, I mean, it's up to the board, but motion, we would vote no on this motion if we want to take up the ordinance changes that are proposed by the city attorney, and we'll go through that in a second. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Why would we vote no?
Because the city attorney sent us a memo saying that we would vote down the motion and then vote these three other motions. Motion to suspend the rules, motion to approve the ordinance, and then motion to approve. But the city attorney's not here, so that's why I
Yeah,
advised.
I believe there were slight changes to what when we sent it back, so it was pending his draft, so.
Are we voting on Carrie's report out the so moved with a second? That's what the vote was?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
So
So you need us to vote no right now?
no, yes, so Alderman Gillum.
I think what you're asking is to vote what she's reporting out and replace it with the new language that the city attorney has sent to us.
That is,
The committee was aware that was gonna happen.
that is
Oh,
correct.
right, I was thinking, because I don't see anybody telling me to vote no.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So we need to make an amendment to the motion that came out of the.
Right.
That's correct.
But you just voted on it, so that's fine. So we accepted, so I'll read the motion. So the motion that came out of committee is, and I'm gonna shorten it, Vice Chair Gillum made the motion to send the noise ordinance language to the full board of approval pending the changes from AttorneyBloomer. So we voted yes on that, so that's fine.
Pending, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But we have the changes from AttorneyBloomer, so AttorneyBloomer sent us
We're
a set of
accepting the
motions.
report.
So that's fine. Alderman Talbot.
So regardless of the vote on the report, can
That's
I
right.
just make a motion to suspend?
Yes,
the
you
rules?
can.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
second that motion.
We have a motion to suspend the rules that has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Now, number 2, and I'll read it out loud for everybody. The motion to approve the ordinance as presented and with the following amendments, as presented in the record.
So moved.
Okay?
Second.
We have a motion has been seconded. All those in favor, or any discussion, questions, or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And then motion to approve the statement setting forth the substance of the proposed amendments as prepared by the city attorney and with the following amendments blank, which is also in the packet. We have a motion has been seconded. Comments, question, or discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Gary, you want to finish your report with the last sentence?
Yes, the meeting was adjourned at 6:23 PM.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
I believe we still have another step. He needs to report this in the paper. 30-day
Yes.
warning process.
So, all of that, and we did get a unanimous vote, so it did pass. All of that is in here. So all of the notifications in here, are set to be advertised in January, and the ordinance would go into effect in February.
I saw in Attorney Bloomer's report too that there was something for you to sign. Do we have to make a motion for you to be able to sign that? or
No, I think the 3 motions that he included here
Okay.
cover everything. So, thank you for bearing with us as the city attorney is not here this evening. Awesome. Okay, back to the agenda. Alderwoman Savage, you've got 2 reports 1117 local option tax, and 12-1 local option tax. And then we have additional motions from the city attorney after those as well.
Okay. November 17 meeting. The members present were Chair Savage, Vice Chair Gillum, Alderwoman Taddeo. Other members present were Mayor Lair, President Mike Dunges, Alderwoman Davis, Alderman DePoy, Alderman Whitcomb, Attorney Bloomer, Treasurer Markowski, Chief Cullen, and Planning and Zoning Administrator Andrew Strinsky. The meeting was called to order at 5:33 p.m. and the Charter and Ordinance met again to go over the new language for the noise ordinance, which was this prior meeting. Attorney Bloomer had prepared a draft on the recommendations during the first meeting using the Schenectady, New York ordinance as a guideline. Suggestions sent in by committee members after the meeting, and feedback gathered by Chief Cullen from the police sergeants on the frequency and types of the calls they received surrounding noise-related issues. Chief Cullen briefed the committee on the input from his sergeants, and the committee made further revisions to the draft, noting another meeting would be held to go over the final draft revisions. No action was needed, as the noise ordinance will remain in committee for Attorney Bloomer to revise the final draft for review for an anticipated mid-December meeting. At 6:24, the committee opened the portion of the meeting to address the charter amendment language for the local option sales tax. The same members and persons were present except for Chief Cullen. Attorney Bloomer passed out the draft containing the proposed language for the charter amendment, which would allow the Board of Aldermen to authorize an assessment of a sales tax of 1% with the goal of lessening the impact of expenses on the property tax and/or water sewer fees. This would be for placement on the ballot in March for voters' approval. Attorney Bloomer explained that the draft drew from the state statute that exists for towns that were going to be affected for the conversion of the statewide funding of schools. Rutland did not meet the criteria for the state statute, so a charter change is needed to enact the change. The committee debated the mechanisms of the measure if it should pass, and designated the areas which would have the greatest impact for taxpayers, including a capital improvement reserve fund. No action was taken, as the charter amendment for the local option tax remained in the committee for Attorney Bloomer to revise final draft for approval to send to the full board, and the meeting adjourned at 6:47 p.m.
Any questions? Okay, Alderwoman Savage, you want to
All right.
continue?
December 1st meeting, 2022. The members present were Alderman Savage, Vice Chair Gillum, Alderman Franco, Alderwoman Taddeo by phone. Other members present were Mayor Allaire, President Mike Dunges, Alderwoman Davis, Alderman Talbot, Alderman DePoy, Alderman Barbagallo, Alderman Whitcomb, Attorney Bloomer, Treasurer Markowski, and Planning and Zoning Administrator Andrew Strinsky. Chair called the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. And Attorney Bloomer asked whether it would be necessary to go into executive session to discuss some of the new proposed language for the charter change, which lets voters know that the goal of the local options tax is to lessen the impact of the expenses on the property tax and/or water and sewer fees. Attorney Bloomer reminded the committee members that we must seek permission from the state legislature to be able to enact the local option sales tax, and that there have been several successful communities who have been able to do this through charter change. So even if the charter change is approved by the Rutland City voters, we will still need to seek the approval from the state legislature. Attorney Bloomer then outlined the breakdown of the charter change language to appear on the ballot, and after discussion, the committee felt an executive session was unnecessary. Alderman Franco moved the recommendation for the charter amendment language out of committee to the full board as followed. It would be 9-8.9. A local option sales tax capital improvement reserve fund. A local option sales tax is authorized under this section for the purpose of affording the city an alternative method of raising municipal revenue with a goal of lessening the impact of expenses on property tax and/or water and sewer fees. Accordingly, 1, the Board of Aldermen may authorize an assessment of a sales tax of 1%. 2, any tax imposed under the authority of this section shall be collected and administered by the Vermont Department of Taxes in accordance with the state law governing the state sales tax. 3, revenues received through a tax imposed under this section shall be used at the sole discretion of the Board of Aldermen in any of the following ways. A, to deposit in the reserve fund described in B below. B, to reduce the deficit of any underfunded pensions. C, to finance the construction, reconstruction, or repair of city buildings or infrastructure that are not eligible to be financed through the reserve funds described in B below. D, any combination of A, B, and C. And the B below was a capital improvement reserve fund is approved in accordance with 24 VSA 2804A and shall be established for the purpose of financing, 1, any physical betterment or improvement, including furnishings, machinery, apparatus, or equipment that physical betterment or improvements when first constructed or acquired. 2, any preliminary studies and surveys relating to any physical betterment or improvement, or 3, land or rights in land. The meeting adjourned at and I so move.
Second. Okay. All right, so we have a motion. It's been seconded. Before I get to comments, questions, and discussions, we have suggested motions to amend from the city attorney on this. So I'm going to read those unless there's a comment, question, or discussion before that. Okay. So we have a suggested motion to amend the motion coming out of committee by replacing with the following two motions. So there's actually going to end up being, like, it's very interesting. So if you read it's page 2 of the memo that was sent a while ago. Motion to amend the motion coming out of committee, replacing with the following two motions. Motion to approve the charter amendment resolution, circulate for signatures, and motion to approve the reserve fund resolution and circulate for signatures. So I'm going to read those two motions now, but we're just voting on the first one first. So the two full motions requires at least a 2/3 board vote. Keep in mind that the board chair, not me, is not counted in this calculation. And the same thing goes for the second half. So, all those in favor of the amendment is written, line number 1 in the memo.
That's on what page of the memo? 2?
Sorry, we also need a motion for the amendment. It's on page 2 of the memo.
The bottom?
Yep, and I'll read it one more time. Motion to amend the motion coming out of committee by replacing it with the two following motions. Motion to approve the charter amendment resolution and circulate for signatures. The memo was emailed on December 15th.
Yep. What's it look like, Mike?
It looks like that.
Okay.
Got it?
And again,
December,
thank you for bearing with us, as the city attorney is not here this evening.
There it is.
Do you want to say something?
No, I was gonna make some copies if they needed it.
Anybody need a copy?
I'd like a copy.
I would.
I don't
We could
see-
take a minute.
Take a minute.
December 15th, 10:08 a.m.
it was the 15th?
Yep.
Thank you.
So, and again, just while the mayor's making us some copies. So right now, we have a motion on the floor, and I'll need a motion to amend with those amendments. And I'm going to message Matt and make sure I'm doing this right, because he's watching.
Okay, I got it. So you're on page 2, suggested motion?
Page 2, and then it goes on to page 3.
Page 3, got it, all right, we got you. So we have,
Okay.
just a point of order, we have 3 motions? You-
That's right.
Okay.
So I'm asking Attorney Bloomer right now, who's homesick, helping us out via text. And he says we do have 3, and it's a little confusing because the first motion mentions the 2 other motions in it.
Yeah.
But we need to do it that way. And the resolutions are in the packet, which is pages,
723?
And those have to be circulated for signature.
Pages 23, 24.
23 through 26, yeah.
And 26.
Just a point of order, those are circulate for signatures, correct?
Yes. I believe that's right. We have to circulate for signatures.
The resolutions, yep.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Alderman Talbot.
So I'll make the motion to amend the motion coming out of committee by replacing it with the following two motions. Motion to approve the charter amendment resolution and circulate for signatures, and motion to approve the reserve fund resolution and circulate for signatures.
Second.
We have a motion that's been seconded. Any comments, question, or discussion on the amendment?
Just a point of order, we need 6 votes to make this work.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion 1 passes, or Amendment 1 passes, thank you. So we'll need, go ahead, Alderman Talbot.
And I'll make a motion to approve the charter amendment resolution and circulate for signatures.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the charter amendment resolution, circulate for signatures, has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Alderman Talbot.
A motion to approve the reserve fund resolution and circulate for signatures.
Second.
Motion has been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes, and then I'll take one, just in case I didn't do it right, one final vote on the amended motions coming out of committee, and then the motion's amended.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, any comments, questions, or discussion on the overall? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. It was complex and complicated. We got through it.
So we should go ahead and circulate.
Yes, that'd be great. Alderwoman Savage, do you have any more on the report?
Yep. The meeting adjourned at 6:02 PM.
Okay. Thank you, Alderwoman Savage.
Just, Mr. President,
Yes.
if I could, just to clarify, for people at home know what the hell we're doing here, we're actually putting something on the ballot for the option tax, and they also need to understand, once it is voted by the people, it still needs to go to Montpelier for approval by the legislature. So we have 2 steps still need to go.
Awesome. Thank you, Alderman Gillum. Okay, actually, Alderman Gillum, you're up.
If I may,
Hold on one second.
so I just want to make sure here when I read down through Matt's notes, and you may want to ask him, but I'm wondering if we need to warn, there needs to be 2 public hearings now as part of the process.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if he would like us to warn a meeting for the next 2 meetings in January, which will be the 2 Tuesdays, because if we wait until the January meeting, I'm wondering if we're going to be too late to get those in.
I'm asking him right now.
So I just, that was part of the process that we had spoken about as far as that goes, so.
Probably wouldn't hurt. Somebody want to
Warn the public hearing.
make a motion to warn those meetings?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion to warn the 2 meetings has been seconded. Any comments, question, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor?
6:30, 6:45.
Okay. Any opposed? Motion passes. So the 2 meeting, 6:30 is fine. 6:30?
6:30.
Yeah, that'll give us 15 minutes in between. Yeah, that'll be great. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, Alderman Gillum, your report. For Public Works, Piedmont Pond and Dam, this is pages B1 through B12 in your packet.
Public Works Committee had a meeting on December 8th, 2022. Committee members present were Barbagallo, Wickham, DePoy, Cupola, and Gillum. Others present with President Dunges, Mayor Allaire, Alderman Davis, Savage, and Talbot, Public Works Commissioner Rotundo, City Attorney Bloomer, Roy Schiff, which is the SLR Consulting Engineering firm from Waterbury. The issue is to update the Moonbrook Pond Modification Project, warranty, deeds, and funding. The chairman opened up the meeting at 5:30. Public Works Commissioner introduced Mr. Roy Schiff, the engineering firm from SLR City Contractor. Schiff updated the committee on the final draft design for combination and Piedmont Pond, which is the Moonbrook Modification Project. This project is a product of the City of Rutland and the State of Vermont Natural Resource Agency Agreement of 2016, the agreement for modification for the flow of Moonbrook and the ponds, the issues with temperatures, water, flood control, dam rehab, soil preservation, and impaired waters. Some of these measures involve working in and around both Combination Pond and Piedmont Pond, and their prospective dams, one on each Pond, which are part of the Moonbrook system, lowering the water levels, removing the sediments, and planting shade trees at each of the ponds to bring the temperature down to the threshold levels A&R standards. In order to facilitate the planned project, the city accepts the covenants of the combination pond several years ago from its owner, and is now necessary for the city to accept the covenants of Piedmont Pond as well as its dams from the current owner, Bruce and Nancy Bentley. The city also received an easement from 3 landholders abutted the pond in order to allow the planting and maintenance of shade trees and vegetation buffer. There will be no cost to the city for any of these acquisitions. The city and the city engineer consultant, SLR, have inspected the dam and found it deteriorating in poor condition and could be problems with a flood event. However, this is not unusual for small dams in Vermont of this nature. Neither party feels it is intimate danger of failing. As part of the planned projects, repairs will be made to both dams to make them up to current safety standards and to further reduce already low likelihood of flood failures. Dam failures. While the city will be taking on some responsibility associated with the dam, the acquisition of the Piedmont Pond and the dam has significantly benefit to allow the city to address the key water quality aspects of the Moonbrook system. And additionally, the city has access to better resources, both financially and technical, as compared to a private owner on any of these issues that have arisen. Alderman Kupla has abstained from the committee vote due to Larry and his wife are now one of the property owners involved. Therefore, the warranty deeds must be approved and filed. Motion. Alderman Whitcomb moves to recommend to the full board to accept the covenancy of the Piedmont Pond and its dams and certain surrounding land via warranty deed and substantial to form attached to your agenda, which is page B1, B2, and B3. The motion carries 4-0, 1 abstention. And I so move.
Second.
A motion has been seconded. Any comments, question, or
A
discussion?
lot of technical stuff to move us in a direction to make the things happen at the ponds.
Any other comments, question, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed? And 1 abstention. All right, Alderman Gillum. The motion passes, by the way. Alderman Gillum, please
Second
continue.
motion, Alderman Wickham moves to recommend to the full board to accept the 3 easements related to the Piedmont Bond project, substantially form attached to your agenda, which are page B4 through 12. The motion carries 4-0, 1 abstention.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion. It has been seconded. Any comments,
And
questions?
those are agreements
discussion?
with the 3 property owners.
All right. Any other comments, question, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And 1 abstention. Thank you. All right, and,
I got one more.
yep, yes, go right ahead.
Additionally, our engineer consultant, SLR, have recently requested a small increase to their engineering service agreement to account for unexpected survey-related costs related to Piedmont Pond acquisition and easements. These expenses will be covered by existing project funds. Therefore, motion. Alderman DuPois moves to the full board to authorize the mayor on behalf of the city to enter into an amendment to the existing engineering service agreement with SLR to increase the total payment due to SLR by $5,000 to account for the unexpected survey work. Motion carried 4-0, 1 abstention.
Second.
We have a motion, has been seconded. Any comments, question, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Any opposed? And we have 1 abstention.
And the last
passes.
paragraph here. There will be a public hearing in the new year, and the project goes out to bid, and it will be awarded by March, projected to start in June 1st, and projected cost is 1.8. 2 grants the city has already secured, $670,000, which is SWSRF, WISP subsidies, and $500,000 for the temperature control subsidy. The meeting adjourned 6:10. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Appreciate that, Alderman Gillum. Just a quick note from our city attorney, he says we did very well, and he gave us good notes on all three.
We get a star?
What's that?
We get a star?
We get a star. 3 stars, actually. And thank you, Attorney Bloomer, for being at home watching from your sickbed. We appreciate it. Hope you feel better fast. Okay, moving on to reports of representatives. There are none. Reports of select committees, there are none.
Representatives, I'm sorry.
What's that? You have a report? Oh, Alderman Gillum.
The Marble Valley Transit Center District is now filing their reports on the city website, so if anybody wants to know anything about the bus, I'm your representative for the board on that bus. We're no longer going to do paper, so we will file those minutes on that website.
Great.
And I've already filed the last one with the city clerk, and that'll be on the website eventually.
Awesome. Okay, any comments, questions for Alderman Gillum? Okay, petitions, letters, and miscellaneous communication, we did both SEP requests already, so we'll move on from that. Board of Control Commissioners, we have none. Board of Cannabis Commissioners, we have none. Unfinished business, is there any unfinished business to come before the board this evening? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to miscellaneous motions, resolutions, and new business. Board of Aldermen 2023 holidays. City Clerk, do you want to just go over that real quick?
Sure. So every new year, there's a couple meetings that fall on Tuesdays because of the holidays. So it's just been, I don't know if we want to call it boilerplate language, but just housekeeping measures that we change the date. So I would like to ask for a motion to change Board of Aldermen holiday Mondays for January 2nd to Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023, Monday, January 17th to Tuesday, January 18th, 2023, Monday, February 20th to Tuesday, February 21st, 2023, and Monday, September 4th to Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. The first Monday is the New Year's holiday. That is Sunday. We're closed on Monday. MLK is the second holiday Monday. President's Weekend is the first or that third Monday in February, and then Labor Day on September.
Great. Motion to suspend the rules, I think. Yeah.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules, it's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then,
Yep, I just had a question. So that would mean that the 2 public hearing meetings for the local option tax would then be the 3rd and then the following
That is
Monday?
correct, yep.
Okay.
all right. Alderman Poy?
Memorial Day or Columbus Day or Veterans Day?
They're
Not
outside of that window, Tom. They're not within that Monday window.
It's the opposing Mondays. So. All right, so can I get a motion to approve the date changes?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion, has been seconded. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes, thank you very much. Is there any other miscellaneous motion, resolution, or new business to come before the board? Alderman Gillum.
On our desk is the county budget that's been submitted to us. Public hearing is January 26th at noon. I guess at the courthouse.
That's for the Sheriff's Department, correct, Billy?
Sheriff- Is that the sheriff's department?
That's their budget.
Yep. All right. Is there any other new business, resolutions, or miscellaneous motions to come before the board? Seeing and hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion has been seconded.
Happy
All those
holidays.
in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned. Happy holidays. And happy first day of Hanukkah for those who celebrate.